Look, here's the thing, no matter if this film is good or bad, there's just one slight problem that you're never going to be able to solve, and it's that you'll never be able to stop that Space Jam song by Quad City DJ. Space Jam: A New Legacy. This is a successor to the original Space Jam movie starring Michael Jordan and the cast of the Looney Tunes way back in the 90s. Not sure what year off the top of my head though. So now we have a remake, sequel, successor, whatever you want to call it, with the modern day Michael Jordan, which is LeBron James. Once again teaming up with the cast of Looney Tunes in order to win another game of basketball. The original one's almost this beloved cult classic held in high regards by those that grew up in the 90s era. And so for them it's always going to be hard to top that. And let's be honest, sequels or remakes of old nostalgic properties never tend to do that great, if I'm right. But looking at this one, it was getting absolutely slammed by reviews, and I don't really think that's entirely fair. Granted, it's nowhere near as good as the original one, but it's had a lot of hurdles it's had to overcome in order to differentiate itself from the original and warrant making a new movie. The biggest problem for me here was the massively overly complicated plot. The original was easily one of the easiest plots ever to understand. Bad guys enslave the Looney Tunes and they ask Michael Jordan to help them win a game of basketball in order to set them free. This one's more an evil algorithm pitches an idea to LeBron James and he doesn't like it, so he steals his kid into the server world and challenges LeBron James to beat his kid at basketball using his kid's video game, which is full of other LeBron James variants, in order to save the world who's also being held. Yeah, it just doesn't work. Sorry, you're gonna have to excuse the sweat. It's about 1,000 degrees in this room, Jesus Christ. And trading in the classic Looney Tunes playing basketball with this LeBron James and Looney Tunes playing a video game version of a basketball game doesn't really do itself any justice either. Granted, I think they've had to do that again to try and make it seem so different from the original movie. There's a lot of leaps and bounds you've got to make with watching this film, the first being the plot that I talked about, the other being the weird technology that seems to be in place here, and the other one that I seem to be getting a lot of negative reviews on is the amount of IP that's being chucked into this film. There's call-outs and cameos to nearly every film or franchise in the Warner Brothers studio IP property list, and unfortunately a lot of it feels a bit wasted. I've seen a lot of people talking as if this is a shameless marketing attempt from Warner Brothers to show off all of its IPs. It's kind of like watching Ready Player One, except from only the Looney Tunes part of this movie is the only relevant bit to the plot, which doesn't necessarily equate to all that much. It's not necessarily a negative theme, but with the amount of hate that I was seeing online for this, I really wasn't expecting to laugh out loud as much as I actually did. The film uses a lot of different franchises to try and bolster out this movie, but doesn't make it a bad thing. It was still pretty funny. Seeing the old granny make a mockery of the Matrix films, or actually, I'm not going to talk about them, because if there's anything I want you to not know about going to this film, I think watching those scenes are actually the best part. The bit where LeBron James and Bugs Bunny have to go round up all the Looney Tunes cast is, for me, my favourite part of the movie. Another really big positive for me was Don Cheadle. In the original we had Michael Jordan and Bill Murray, and they're not necessarily acting their asses off, and LeBron James isn't doing anything worse or better than Michael Jordan was. But here we have the bad guy being played by Don Cheadle, who I almost think he just knows he's in this ridiculous movie and he just puts his absolute all into playing the dumbest villain he can possibly do. And I really rated it. I thought he was really enjoyable to watch. It's weird to see the latter half of a movie much more enjoyable than the first part of the movie. I actually found myself starting out really skeptical of this, but finishing off on a much more positive note. It's hard because I shouldn't recommend this movie, but I had a much better time than I thought I was going to. Maybe it's because I saw the negative reviews first and had almost no expectations, but I can't say I hated it. Okay, maybe don't spend money to go see this at the cinema necessarily, but if you happen to have HBO Max or in the UK, whatever streaming service it comes out on, then I do think it's worth watching if you liked the original Space Jam. It was nice to watch the Looney Tunes moments again, which I haven't seen since that movie, and LeBron James is no worse than Michael Jordan was, so I think it's fine. But yeah, that's it for me here today, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Let me know if you've seen Space Jam: A New Legacy yet and what your thoughts on the movie are. Let me know down in the comments below. If you liked this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help me out. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime, and video games. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye-bye.